One thing I've never done is made a bandsaw box, and I've always kind of wanted to. So with Christmas coming up, I decided I would make a Seahawks bandsaw box for my dad for Christmas. So let's get started. I glued together 3 scraps of wood that I had, a maple piece, a walnut, and 1 more maple piece. I inserted a scrap piece of plywood on either side to keep the clamps from marking up the wood. After the glue dried, I had my husband run it through the table saw to give the bottom a nice square edge. I printed off a Seahawks logo the size that I wanted and attached it with spray adhesive, making sure that it was square at the bottom edge. I made some layout lines and sketched how I wanted the box shape to be. I used the bevel to make things symmetrical and a washer to make sure the corners matched. Using the bandsaw, I cut out the profile of the box. I cut off the back of the box at a 1/2 inch. Next, I cut out the drawer. Usually you would not cut it into 2 pieces when making a bandsaw box, but I did due to the sharp edges of the beak and the tail. I glued the 2 pieces of the box together. Next, I glued the back of the box on. I cut off the logo at a 1/4 inch, then I cut off the drawer front at 3/8 of an inch. After flipping the drawer over, I cut out the back also at 3/8 of an inch. I traced out the shape of the inside of the drawer and cut it. I glued the front and back onto the drawer. I did hours of sanding with a 120 and 220 grit sandpaper to get everything smooth. I started cutting out the logo with the bandsaw, but for the inner areas I used the drill press and scroll saw. I used files to clean up the rough edges. Using razor blades and sandpaper, I removed the template and glue off the box and logo. I applied Minwax natural stain to the box and front of the drawer. I used Minwax red oak stain for the logo, and since the logo has 2 tones, I left the stain on longer in one area. I glued the logo onto the drawer front using a minimal amount of glue so that it wouldn't squeeze out. I cleaned up some edges and applied the Minwax red oak to the rest of the drawer. I applied 3 coats of poly using spray on the front to help get it into the crevices without dripping. I sanded after the coats with 800 grit sandpaper to give it a nice sheen. I put feet on the bottom, and I also added pads to the inside to act as a drawer stop. To give the inside a nice velvety interior, I used a flocking gun and flocked the inside. I could not be happier with my first bandsaw box. It turned out great. I love how the wood grain flows throughout the logo continuously. The stain looks amazing, and I really like how smooth and sheen the outside turned out. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.